Hi, I'm Hudson and I'm a game designer. I want to talk about Path of Exile 2, specifically the Monk. The Monk is split between dexterity and intelligence, and he primarily uses quarterstaffs. He's a fast and agile melee fighter, capable of dealing a variety of elemental damage. He presently has two Ascendancy classes, the Invoker and the Acolyte of Chayula. You will notice significant performance problems in this video. The game will struggle to maintain 60 frames per second. In fact, the frame rate will sometimes drop below 30. This is entirely the game's fault, and there's nothing I can do about it. The Monk's skills provide him with a variety of options in combat, including mobility, knockback, daze, area damage, and quick consecutive strikes. Many of these skills allow the Monk to quickly move around, darting in and out of combat. They emphasize his mobility and allow him to perform interesting combos. His skills are creative, they fit his theme, and they're fun to use. It's in stark contrast to the mercenary skills, which feel rushed and incomplete, and to the warrior's skills, which are so slow that they feel like a waste of time. I made a cold build, which included only 4 skills: Ice Strike, Wave of Frost, Shattering Palm, and Herald of Ice. Ice Strike allows you to strike multiple times in quick succession, dealing cold damage and building up freeze. This skill is very effective as a basic attack. In my build, it quickly built up freeze and dealt a tremendous amount of damage. For this build, I originally used Glacial Cascade, which is basically a ranged attack. It releases an icy fissure that deals damage in a series of bursts, culminating in a large spike. Frozen enemies struck by the spike are dealt heavy damage. It allowed me to effectively handle distant enemies. But in order to take full advantage of this skill, you need to be mindful of your exact distance from enemies, so that the large spike at the end will hit its mark. Wave of Frost allows you to flip backwards and send forth a freezing wave. It's very effective at putting distance between the Monk and encroaching enemies. While Glacial Cascade allows you to damage distant enemies, Wave of Frost allows you to ensure that those enemies remain distant. In my build, I preferred Wave of Frost for the mobility that it provided, and for its significant freeze buildup. Herald of Ice is a passive spirit skill, which may be enabled by reserving the appropriate amount of spirit. When a frozen enemy is killed, they will shatter, and while Herald of Ice is active, whenever you shatter an enemy in this way, they will explode. There are multiple Herald skills in the game, and all of them are very effective. Herald of Ice significantly improved the damage output of my build. It's well designed, it's useful, and it's easy to understand and apply. When an enemy's life is low enough, killing Palm allows you to dash to them and cull them, which instantly kills them. The idea of this skill is sound, but the application is finicky. The power charge that this skill provides is very useful, but as I said in my warrior feedback video, culling skills can be difficult to use. These skills interrupt the flow of combat, and enemies may be outright killed before the skill can be used. Charge up Gathering Storm and release it to dash forward. Releasing at the perfect moment will release shockwaves from enemies that you dash through and deploy a trail of shocked ground in your wake. Gathering Storm is very similar to the mace skill Perfect Strike, and I couldn't reliably trigger the perfect moment for either skill. The concept is really cool and the skill looks great, but in practice it's slow and inefficient. I would rather just use a skill that doesn't require precise timing. While you maintain Whirling Assault, you will continually strike enemies around you. This skill is the quintessential Monk skill. It looks great, it feels good, and it perfectly fits the flavor of the Monk. However, there are other skills that are far more efficient at dealing damage in an area. In my time playing the Monk, this skill was overshadowed. I wish Whirling Assault had the ability to absorb elemental effects to take on their elemental damage. That would make it more interesting and allow it to compete with other skills. The Spear skill Whirling Slash does something similar. Whirling Assault could easily be modified to do the same. Wind Blast unleashes a gust of wind that knocks back and briefly dazes enemies. The knockback distance is based on an enemy's distance to you, and the daze increases the amount of stun buildup that enemies receive. I like that skills like this exist. Skills that serve a purpose that isn't just dealing damage. This skill is very useful at putting distance between yourself and encroaching enemies. In theory. In practice, I found that skills that knock back enemies rarely provide enough distance to be useful. Enemies will rush the player and close the gap almost immediately, making the skill's use pointless. It's far more effective to just slay enemies faster than they can reach you. Vaulting Impact allows you to leap forward and slam the ground, sending out a stunning shockwave that is especially potent against dazed enemies. This skill's concept is great. It perfectly fits the monk's flavor and it looks really cool, but I only used it a few times. It's very slow, and I found it to be a significant waste of time. It's overshadowed by multiple other skills that can slay enemies faster and more efficiently. Tempest Flurry is basically just a lightning version of Ice Strike, and Storm Wave is basically just a lightning version of Glacial Cascade. I didn't spend much time with these skills, but they're easy to understand. Tempest Flurry performs a series of strikes that deal lightning damage, and Storm Wave projects a bolt of lightning in a long fissure ahead of you. I don't like that some skills are similar to others, just with a different elemental damage type. It does allow the player to more easily flesh out builds, but it's also kind of boring and unnecessary. I would rather just modify an existing skill to better suit my needs. I said something similar about the Mercenary's ammunition skills in another video, and I maintain that opinion. It isn't interesting to copy the same skill multiple times and just give it a different flavor. Flicker Strike allows you to teleport to an enemy and strike them. It consumes power charges to teleport additional times and strike multiple nearby enemies. This skill is fucking awesome. Its name is badass, and it looks cool as hell. I'm only disappointed that it requires power charges to use. I don't understand the design philosophy that cool things require a high cost. Just let the player have fun. Not everything needs sacrifice or compensation. There are other skills that I haven't mentioned in this video, but I didn't spend enough time with them to provide an informed opinion. Of all of the classes presently available in the game, I've enjoyed the Monk the most. He's one of the more popular classes in the game, and it's easy to see why. The speed, fluidity, and reach of his attacks feels great, and I was surprised at how different the Monk feels compared to the other classes. Even in heavy armor, the Monk isn't as slow or lumbering as the Warrior. He's able to move in and out of combat quickly and easily, which counteracts the frustrating, sticky feeling that usually accompanies melee combat. And unlike the Mercenary, the Monk's variety of elemental damage makes sense, and properly supplements his fast and mobile playstyle. So those are my thoughts on the Monk. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Here are some of my other videos. Go watch them. Put them in your brain. You'll like it.